Hey guys, welcome back to He Show Gaming. We got one more game coming out of Gencon here. On the left, joining us once again for the third time in a row, just how it worked out. We have Jeremy on Crane. As you may have seen before, it is Steward of Law on Kia and Kikita. And then on the right, we have Brad Amon. He is playing some Echoes Phoenix. That's right. We got a three-peat here. Crane versus Echoes Phoenix. Charge. He is running 3 Azanami. Deck lists, once again, will be down in the description. There's the handshakes. We've got the flips. For Jeremy, he's got a Calo Delegate and a Steam Tea House, Doji Challenger, and the Imperial Palace. Over on Brad's side, we see an Ethereal Dreamer, a Azanami, a Mia Satoshi, and a Forgotten Library. He goes ahead and buys the Ethereal Dreamer with 0 Fate. Back over to Jeremy. We have the Doji Challenger with 3 Fate. And then Brad responds quickly with his Satoshi. That Satoshi is going to be able to fill up his discard. Very key to this deck. Jeremy passes, takes the Fate. Brad takes the opportunity and fires the Satoshi, finds a Kanjo. Doesn't find much else that would fuel his deck here. No birds, no keepers. He did see a Sukune flip over. And there's a keeper. So he discards a face down card with the Satoshi, finding the Kanjo district, and hits a keeper. No birds though. That's a bit of a rough start. Jeremy just taking a look, seeing what he needs to worry about. This is kind of a big turn. If Jeremy can keep hold of the favor, keeping that Kanjo district turned off, he could pull ahead of this match and maybe secure it up. We have 5 bids on both sides. Pretty expected. And of course Brad fires a Walking the Way. Gets to look at the top 3. See what he finds. Discarding the Azanami, and he finds himself a bird. That's just really fantastic. If he has charge now to turn it on, throw it into the conflict, get like a Sukune or a Azanami back after the conflict, or after the conflict phase is over, that could really help him out. Just start doing what this deck does best, and he plays another Walking the Way. This could get the bird right into the discard pile.
Look at that. Bird.
Let's see what he finds himself. He finds another bird.
I'm gonna put a bird on it.
This is just fantastic. Brad's deck firing exactly how he wants it to right now. Finding 2 birds. And it looks like he does have a couple, either My Ancestor's Strength or Forebear's Echoes in hand. Some sort of lion card that is going to look for birds in his discard. Brad lining up for his first conflict, sitting on 1 Fate. Come in the Ethereal Dreamer, presumably on the ring that he named. Void Ring at the Imperial Palace, hitting a Shameful Display. Might be a little awkward for Jeremy to defend. He's only got the 1 character. But Shameful Display is pretty decent. Jeremy takes the Seeker of Void Fate. Considers what he wants to do, playing an Ancient Master into the conflict as his first action.
You're gonna be huge.
1 to 3. Brad looking over what he wants to do now in response. And he will play a My Ancestor's Strength. It's going to bring him up to 8 strength starting off. He's now winning and breaking. 8 to 1. Shameful Display fires, honoring the Ancient Master, dishonoring the Ethereal Dreamer. 3 to 8. Brad still breaking. And here comes a Steward of Law. And that's going to prevent the break.
I wonder if I get bowed next. cards you got?
If he really wants to, he could even commit a force shame if he has it. Bow out the Ethereal Dreamer and take the ring even. That may seem like an overcommittal though. Brad deciding if he wants to chase the conflict. The Supernatural Storm gives him +1 here. Doesn't seem like it gets him over the top though. He's just going to pass. And there is a for shame, bowing out the Ethereal Dreamer. Jeremy's going to take the ring. That seems like it may have been a little bit of an overcommittal. He didn't really need to commit the for shame. He could have just let Brad take the ring and just eat the Void Ring on the Doji Challenger. Has 3 fate. Taking the ring does help him secure the favor though, which will be pretty important with this Conjo on the board. He's going to go in for Jeremy's going to go in for his first conflict here. He's doing Military Water with the Doji Challenger at the Forgotten Library. Hits a Manicured Garden. Brad's sitting on 0 fate right now. Military seems like a pretty safe attack. Brad is going to defend with Satoshi, and first action gains a fate from the Manicured Garden. Jeremy is winning now, but not breaking. 3-2. Brad is going to bow a Stronghold. Flips over a Walking the Way. Gonna look at what he finds in the Dynasty deck. He finds a Forgotten Library, overwrites the Conjo District. Well, maybe not. The Conjo seems pretty good, threatening that effect if you can secure the favor, but nope, Brad's just gonna throw the Conjo away and hit the Forgotten Library. Bonsai comes out, pumping that Challenger up to 7 total strength versus Satoshi's 2, and he's now breaking. Brad passes. Jeremy's going to take this first break, stands up the Ancient Master with the Water Ring, and he's going to get a second conflict here. And it doesn't look like Brad has an answer. Jeremy's going to come in on the Earth Ring political and hits an Upholding Authority. Now, taking the second break here is kind of a big deal, but the Upholding Authority is going to strip his hands of some good cards, presumably. Now, he has played 4 cards already, so Brad really only looking at 5. He's a Sword, Away of the Crane, Court Games, Noble Sacrifice, and a Let Go. Eyeing that Way of the Crane.
Don't put it in your discard. You can just keep it.
Hands him back the Let Go, just making sure he's clear that this is not the card he's discarding. Jeremy can just keep that. And the Way of the Crane is the choice.
Discard this card?
Jeremy's probably okay with that. This deck runs a plethora of honor effects, not to mention the box. Just turns it on. Having that free honor token is pretty good, though. Takes the Earth Ring, draws a card, discards a Censor out of Brad's hand. Jeremy looking real strong, taking 2 breaks on this first turn. Brad has already seen 2 birds, though, and with some persistent threat maintenance could turn this around.
I'm drunk, all right. What do you think you did in this break? Yeah. And I wasn't nicotine in that cigarette.
Going on to the next round, players gain fate. Going up to 8 on each side. Taking a look at honor. Jeremy still sitting at 11. Brad at 9. We see the flips. There's another Doji Challenger, another Tea House, and a Yoshi. That Yoshi's going to be pretty big, allowing Jeremy to kind of make up for this hand differential. He buys him with 3 fate, going down to 0 fate. Let's see what Brad's response is. He sees himself an Ujina, a duplicate of Satoshi, his own Imperial Palace, and of course the Forgotten Library from last turn.
I guess it doesn't matter. I'm probably dead. Let's activate Satoshi.
He's first action. He's just going to activate Satoshi. First card he flips up is a Satoshi. Doesn't see any extra cards in his discard pile.
Life sucks right now.
Brad just kind of lamenting his situation. He's down 2 breaks.
He's right here, so I would have just killed myself.
And yeah, if he had duped Satoshi first, that's all his Imperial cards. That Satoshi would have been face down. He would have milled his entire deck into the discard pile. It is in fact a very good thing that he did not dupe. He throws away the Ujina. Jeremy's going to pass, take the fate. Brad will dupe the Satoshi, adding 2 fate to him. That Satoshi's going to be around for a while now. We have 5 bids. Not even pretending.
Let's draw more Censures. Got this fucking soul read. Alright.
Jeremy in a very strong position right now. He's going to get to draw some cards with Yoshi. And is looking pretty favored on breaks. Brad's sitting on 8 fate though. You got to think he's seen a Forebears Echo by now. Jeremy's going to come in. Military Fire. Hits a Kuroi Mori. There's been some interesting choices. Kuroi Mori is kind of being seen in the row a lot, as well as on the box. First action, Brad's going to do no defense. Plays a Forebears Echoes. Hits the bird into the conflict. And now, just like that, he's up. 6-4 in the conflict. This bird's also going to go away, get him an extra character. Brad with a really solid response. There goes a sword coming onto the Doji Challenger. Brings him up to even with the favor. 6-6. Let's see if Brad's got an answer. He has 0 Shugenjas on the board. Supernatural Storm doesn't do much. And you can't really turn the bird into a 6-6 as well. There comes a Bonsai. Hitting that Doji Challenger up 10 strength. Brad's going to have to flip this Kuroi Mori to a political.
Why are my cards terrible? I guess I could just do this again. It seems terrible. This is 10-6.
Brad thinking about his options.
I'll make it political.
Yep. And there goes the political flip.
So 6-3.
Just like that, we're 6-3. Jeremy has to commit some more cards now if he wants to break. But he's just going to pull in the Satoshi and call it a day.
Big boy now. You got like 1 million cards. Let's dishonor you.
Here comes a court games to dishonor the Doji Challenger. Jeremy's probably okay with this at the current moment. He's not really trying to win the conflict anymore. That said, he is going to have to find some way to re-honor that Doji Challenger if he wants to keep using it over the course of its life.
Clarity on Satoshi.
Clarity comes down, hitting Satoshi. Here comes a formal invite. Jeremy may be sending his Yoshi into the conflict here to try and take the break. Or at least take the ring.
7, 8 to 10.
So it's 7 strength to 10. Does move that Yoshi in. Can use Yoshi's ability to get some more cards.
Awful things are going to happen. 8 to 10. Pass.
8 to 10 total. He is going to use Yoshi's ability to draw 3 cards.
Pass.
I'm really just not super sure about this committal. See for shame coming down. Looks like he's targeting Satoshi. They're now 8 to 8. Here comes a Seeker of Knowledge, giving Brad an extra 2. Back up to 10. Jeremy seems to be really going all out on this conflict. He's committed this many resources so far. To come home without anything. But at the same time, he's very much chasing the conflict. Plays the court games to honor his Yoshi.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 10.
He's at 11 strength to 10 strength right now.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, right? 4, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 10.
Brad's going to have a response here. Plays on My Ancestor's Strength, pumping the Seeker of Knowledge up to a 6/6. That gives him 14 strength total.
So 6, 12, 13, 14.
Jeremy maybe smelled blood in the water too early here. He's now vastly overcommitted and has nothing to show for it if he doesn't take the ring. And he's just going to use that Esteemed Tea House to pull the formal invite back into hand.
Carried. Formal invitation before it goes away. So I can't play it for the next turn. Have it for next turn. Okay. Pass. Okay, so I can get a keeper back, right? And then I also can fire Keeper Bear off this. Because it gains the... Oh, she's attacking. Sorry, top it. Alright, so he's going to bow. He doesn't bow.
Brad just asking if he gets the keeper ability, or keeper from the Seeker Knowledge, but Seeker Knowledge is only while you're attacking. He does send the bird away. Try and find a character in his discard. Look at that, so it's Sukune, and it is going to be Sukune. And just like that, Brad's now got a board, and he can come in for a crackback. Try and take something off of Jeremy's field.
political
Deciding what he wants
air.
to do, lining up for his conflict. Looks like he's going to do a political air at Shameful Display.
We'll go with
He's currently at 4 strength. Let's see if Jeremy has a response. Both his characters on the field are bowed. There comes a court games to honor Sukune, bringing her up to an 8-8.
yes. Break and kill. Get a keeper.
And Jeremy's just going to let it go. Here comes a keeper.
How much you have?
And Brad still has a conflict left. Jeremy's just got
Action.
nothing.
Pass. So you pass second conflict.
Passes through Jeremy's second conflict. Brad gonna line up for his second conflict now.
Military, earth.
He's really just got carte blanche to attack whatever he wants. He's gonna do a military.
Magistrate station. 3 to my 4. If I go water, it's higher. Yeah, that makes more sense. This is water, right? Military water.
He decides to go the water ring just in case he hits magistrate station. Wants to make sure he gets the favor next round, and he hits a vassal field. Jeremy triggers vassal field. Take a fade away. And it's just going to pass. 1 for unopposed, and Sukune will stand.
Alright.
Now, of course, Sukune gets her 2 rings at this point.
End of phase fire rings.
Earth and Void.
So let's void here. And earth here.
Taking the Void off of the Yoshi, and then going for the Earth ring. Hits the Noble Sacrifice.
Good.
That could have been a big play
Alright, I go
if Jeremy was able to set it up
Yep.
and hit possibly a Sukune or a Kaede or even an Ujina, but
This
probably
has
not the worst thing in the world.
I'll keep this.
Brad decides to keep just his Forgotten Library. Had to pitch the Palace on a Broken Province. Jeremy pitches a Steam Tea House and a Challenger going to a blank board. Blank Dynasty row, rather.
You have $9.
Brad will take the favor. Looks like he took it political. And go up to 9 fate and 8 fate for Jeremy and Brad, respectively. We see the 3rd tea house come up for Jeremy. A Toshimoko, a Challenger, and a Brash Samurai. On Brad's side, we see an Uona, another Keeper, another Sukune, and of course the Forgotten Library. He goes ahead and buys Uona with 2 fate. Jeremy responds with Toshimoko with 3 fate. Brad will pass, and then Jeremy will buy this Brash Samurai with 0. Going down to 0 fate total. Going into the draw phase. Brad gets his Forgotten Library card, and then we'll draw 5 each. Brad making a strong comeback. Started off that first round with 2 breaks. Now has taken a break himself and has a board in response. A Satoshi, Sukune, that Seeker of Knowledge, an Uona, and that Keeper. Got quite a few weenies, but that Honored Sukune is a force to be reckoned with as well. Just taking a look over Toshimoko's ability. It does in fact cancel out the entire conflict, regardless of if anyone has the favor or not. Toshimoko very key to this matchup. Phoenix can really only get over Toshimoko so many times with their large burst potential.
Pre-conflict, how fast?
Looks like Brad's lining up for his first conflict now. Choosing the Void Ring.
Military Void. We'll go here again.
Gonna go at Vassal Fields rather.
Satoshi and the Seeker are not in.
Attacks with Sukune, Uona, and the Keeper Initiate. Coming in for 11 force. Jeremy defends with just the Brash Samurai. Imagine his first action will be to honor the Brash Samurai. That turns on his Voice of Honors.
I'm winning and breaking. 11.
It's 4-11. Brad is breaking right now. He seems to be thinking about a play, though. He's thumbing a 4 Bears Echoes. There it comes. Oh, he picks an Ujina. Oh, goodness. So he's going to take this Void Ring, void off that Yoshi, and then Yoshi is going to get sent to the Shadow Realm with Ujina, removed from the game. Brad taking an odd line of play, using the 4 Bears Echoes to get back a character that's not named Fushiko. But he's really probably going to get rewarded here. Jeremy doesn't seem to have a response. Just looking through his cards. And he's just going to pass. Brad takes the ring and the break. Thinking about if he wants to do anything. Yep. He just passes.
We're good. We're good.
Yep. He's going to take the ring and the break. Remove that fate from Yoshi. And then send Yoshi to the Shadow Realm. What a fantastic play. Removing a 5-9 from the board. And turning back off Voice of Honor. Although I imagine if Jeremy had had a Voice of Honor, he would have played it there.
Thank you.
Ujina going to the bottom of the deck. Jeremy can line up for a conflict now. Gonna try and salvage something out of this. Hit some meditations on the Tau, attacking with Doji Challenger and Toshimoko. If he can take a break here and get to Stronghold, maybe he can push out the game before Brad gets too far ahead. He also does, we know, have a formal invite in hand that he can send that Toshimoko back in with. On Brad's second conflict. Going Earth Ring. Hits Meditations. Brad just deciding what he wants to do in response.
I'll block with Satoshi.
Blocks with Satoshi.
These idiots corners. No, okay. I'll block with Satoshi. First action, I'll rip a fade off Doji Challenger.
Meditations removes fade off the Doji Challenger. Now at 0 fade on the Doji Challenger. We are at 7-0 at the moment. Brad does have access to 4 Bears Echoes if he wants it. Sitting on 3 fate. Jeremy pulls in the Seeker of Knowledge. Brad responds with a Walking the Way, bowing out the Doji Challenger off the Uona. So it looks like he saw an Azanami, a Sukune, and an Ancestral Shrine. Choosing to take the Azanami. Now winning and breaking. 4-0. Brad has to decide if he wants to stop the break right now. Jeremy will be on box if he takes this break. There comes a Bonsai, hitting the Satoshi, and that will prevent the break. Unless Jeremy has a response. Through his cards, you have to think if he had the Bonsai, he might have just gone for it. Taking a look at the conflict discard, though. Seeing what's in the pocket. He's going to play Gossip for 4 Bears Echoes. He doesn't want to see any birds coming into this conflict. That maybe indicates, to me at least, that Jeremy is intending to chase this. Maybe he's going to play a Bonsai and some swords. Get that Toshimoku up to strength. This is his first challenge. Brad does have another challenge left. Although no characters on the board. Here comes a sword, hitting Toshimoku. There comes another sword. That will bring him to breaking. Here comes a charge. Ouch. Azanami. Azanami at a 4 strength. That will prevent the break again. Jeremy is winning but not breaking at the moment. 8-8. He just passes. He gives up on it. Brad looks like he smells blood in the water looking at his hand. And here comes a Benton's touch. Bows the Seeker of Knowledge to honor his Azanami. Turning Azanami into a 7-7. Now Jeremy's going to have to get 3 more force out of somewhere if he wants to even win this ring.
So what happens if I lose this?
If you lose, we count 0. Sorry, yeah, if you lose, we count 0, otherwise we count.
So Jeremy passes, Brad passes. Jeremy opts to trigger Toshimoku's duel.
Just so that there's no funny business, I will be able to honor before totals happen, because it's already action.
Oh, he is.
So it happens, and then we count.
He is describing to Brad what happens when Toshimoko
I got the 10.
wins the duel.
Yeah. So nobody gets the ring, basically.
So we will cancel out the ring with Toshimoko's duel, honoring with Kyun Kikita. Just a little bit of funny business, deciding if he wanted to, or explaining that Toshimoko can win the conflict after both players have passed by honoring with Kyun Kikita. Brad's going to play an Against the Waves stand-up Azanami. He's now got a character to go in for his second conflict.
Boy, you're right. Oh, here it is. Like black. Blend it in.
Lining up for his conflict. Looking at the water ring.
That's a smart play if I hit Magistrate Station, I guess.
It's going water just in case he hits Magistrate Station once again. He's going to want to bow out whatever character Brad stands, and it is in fact Magistrate Station. Or Jeremy stands, rather. He's going to no defense, stands up Toshimoko, and just pass. Not really sure why Jeremy didn't decide to attach the formal invite and go in. Maybe could have prevented the break. And just like that, Brad is now up on breaks and is on Jeremy's stronghold. Now an Ancient Master coming down. Jeremy wants to get one more conflict in.
She is honored from when I court games. Like a long time ago I court games her. She was
Forgetting that Sukune is honored. That may change his plans. And Brad just lets him take it back.
So I will fire,
There's no reason for the Ancient Master to come down.
let's go. Fire, I'll dishonor here. Actually, wait, just like
Brad deciding what he wants to do with the Sukune rings. Looks like he triggers Air Ring to steal an honor, bringing him up to 10 honor and Jeremy down to 6. And he triggers the Earth Ring. And hits an admit defeat.
Good. I keep favor. Yeah, I got the draw. You're right.
And then honor gain consequence.
Yep, I gain 2.
Going into the Fate phase. The Doji Challenger and the Brass Samurai go away, as well as the Azanami and Sukune. The Seeker of Knowledge and Keeper Nishi are going to go as well, leaving just the Satoshi and the Uona to face down the Toshimoko with 2 swords.
Sakuni has to go.
Jeremy flushing out his row.
Ready?
Brad likewise just leaving the Forgotten Library. And here come the flips. Jeremy is first. He sees 2 Yoshis and a Yuri. Buys a Yoshi with 1 extra fate. Brad on the other side sees a Adept of the Waves, a Nobukai, an Ujina, and the Forgotten Library, and he just opts to pass. Perhaps not. He's not passing. He is, in fact, buying the Nobukai. Nobukai, a little seen character up until this point, but he is pretty good in this toolbox. You can sacrifice him to bow all the characters that are currently in the conflict, and then characters cannot be moved into the conflict. Basically shutting down the entire conflict. Jeremy dupes Yoshi. Brad passes, taking the fate. Gonna go into the draw phase now. Forgotten library triggers. And I'm seeing 5 bids. We are not. Jeremy bids 3 and Brad bids 1. Maybe looking to dishonor out Jeremy. He was getting pretty low. Now sitting at 4 honor. Brad looking so strong now after his false start on the first turn. But now just in a commanding board presence. Jeremy coming in for his first conflict. Political air at the meditations with the Yoshi. Coming in for 6 force.
At home? Not in the conflict.
Okay, no, it's demanding.
Looks
No,
like
no
he's
defenders, not in the conflict.
doing no defenders, and he's going to play a Shrine Maiden outside of the conflict. Sees a display of power, an assassination, and a supernatural storm off of the Shrine Maiden's reaction.
You too. Your action.
Display of power is now turned on. There are no defenders in the conflict. Which could be a bummer for Jeremy. He really kind of wanted this air ring to stay up on honor. Oh, and now he attaches a formal invitation to the Nobukai.
She's in now. Oh, you have to
it's
use the
another
action. Strip of fate. Sacker.
Brad activates meditations.
Yep. Nobody can be moved.
Jeremy will drag Nobukai in, and Brad instantly sacrifices Nobukai to bow out the Yoshi and lock down the conflict. And then Jeremy plays a Fumiki, going back up to 3 strength. He could actually take the break.
Pass.
And there's the fan to get up to breaking strength. 5-0.
Pass. Split.
And the display of power comes
I
down.
lose 1 unopposed. I'll take 1 from you. And then I'll get all my.
Jeremy going down to 3 honor, but taking the break. He's now on stronghold. Brad gets his keepers though, and he might have all 3. Nope, just 2.
Breaks.
And now Brad's gonna get to have a crack at Jeremy's stronghold.
Oh yeah.
It is Midnight Rebels under the box. Basically blank right now, since the Yoshi's on the board. I believe Brad does have access to one Forebear's Echoes in his discard, and at least 1 bird as well.
Pass.
He could get a pretty big conflict off here. Sitting on 3 fate.
His only works on military, right?
No, it's a military duel, but it works on any conflict.
When you would lose any.
Just
conflict.
asking for confirmation on Toshimoko. It does work in any conflict. Jeremy looking like he's going to try and leverage this Toshimoko to keep Brad off the box. Brad lining up his first conflict. Got the 2 keepers pushed forward. Could be just going in for a poke, just to confirm the contents and put some pressure on. Just maybe doing the math in his head, confirming all of his resources before he commits.
Military.
Gonna go military water.
Or watering, right? Probably.
Looks like at the stronghold.
All right.
Maybe not water. And he looks like he's gonna commit to the earth now.
With the keepers.
Yep, military earth at the stronghold with the 2 keepers.
Want to flip it?
Oh, it is not Midnight Revels. It is actually Rally to the Cause. Jeremy will flip it over to political. And that's going to shut down any bird shenanigans for this turn, at least.
You have no money. Alright, I'll pass.
Just defends with Toshimoko
Get the ring.
and takes the ring.
Pass become.
Pass. So you skip one.
Pass.
Back to me.
Yep.
All in at the box for the fire ring. So I went.
So you went military. You
So that has to be. Yep.
So Brad's going to come in for his second conflict, maybe looking to try and take this. But Jeremy's got favorable ground, moves the Toshimoko in. Brad sends him home, though, with a strength in numbers. He's at 4 strength right now. Needs 2 more to break.
Yeah. Passing. Superstorm.
Supernatural Storm. We'll pump for 1. And that's the game. Brad Amon with a fantastic comeback. Starting the game 2 breaks down. And coming back to take the game right out from under Jeremy. What fantastic play from both players here. Congratulations to Brad Amon for taking the Gencon championship. That's a Grand Cote champion right there on the right side of the screen. Congratulations again to all of our top players, all the players featured in the top 8 and upwards. Just really some fantastic play from everybody in the tournament. I myself had a fantastic time, and really I cannot wait to do this again. All the people were fantastic, and everybody just had such a great time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been He Show Gaming. Come back and check us out again sometime. We usually stream just about daily, every other day, 3 days a week. We've got streams going, just playing Jigoku usually, maybe featuring some Discord League matches. I would really love you guys to check it out. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
The game. If this wins, this gets obliterated on Monday. This will not exist on Monday. Right? Like, if you don't play the broken stuff, it will never get fixed, and then